welcome to the video, everyone. We are in Buffalo now. Check that out, the snow mounted up on the size of the height of the stop sign there. It's crazy out here. We're still having snow. This is the 26th of December, and I believe today is the last snow, so there's a lot of effort into cleaning the streets out. I am going through the street called Suffolk Street, and currently going through it. They basically plowed one lane of space throughout whatever they can. Not all the streets are plowed though, so some of the streets we cannot travel through. Like this here is LaSalle. As you can see, this one is plowed through, so I can actually go through this one, and some of them actually aren't plowed at all, so it's tricky. Of course it's tricky, but this is one lane and this is actually one way, so no cars are going to come this way. So I'm not having any issues with this road here, but for example, my street is two-way, so when people try to go through one way, for example this one, if people try to come through one way, somebody has to back up or somebody has to get stuck in the snow. There's no other way around it. As you can see, these snow here on the street is like window height for me here, and some of them are car height too, wherever they piled up all the snow after plowing them on the corners of these blocks. So that's a little bit scary too. I have my heat up here on full blast, and I'm still having fog issue here, and then it's telling me, my car is telling me there's a door open, although there isn't. So there's a lot of ice probably stuck somewhere. It's just messing with one of the doors maybe, but here we are. This pile here, check this one out. This one is huge. It's like, it all depended on how the wind took place, what the wind did, and which way it was blowing, and what the obstacle was. Here's a car that was stuck. As you can see, we have some police tape on this thing. I hope this wasn't one of the cars where they were victim of freezing to death. There was a lot of cars who ran out of gas and froze to death, which was pretty upsetting. Especially seeing, there are houses. This is a city, so as you can see, there's a house, right next to one another, and people were freezing to death, which was very upsetting. Although there was a lot of nice people who opened up their doors to shelter people when they needed. I hope every house was open to people. Of course, there was a lot of looting and stuff going on, so that was a huge issue here. There's a little sedan. I don't even know why these people are traveling right now. Pretty useless, just like me. There's a lot of cars still getting stuck though. It's it's still bad. This up here is Bailey. I'm on the corner of UB South Campus. This is Bailey and Winspear. I don't know why I can't go. I have a red light here. I don't know why this car isn't coming through. But we're gonna basically just go through this. That's a U-Haul van. Look at the snow here. It's really bad. And that right there is all the pile up that the snow trucks left behind. Obviously they can't carry all of this, so they're just piling up. That right there is Winspear Avenue. This here is a gas station. Of course, there's no gas station open right now. I do have a couple of jerry cans, or they're called gas cans, that are stocked up just in case I run out of gas, and all the tanks are full of these cars, just in case we needed it. So that was a pretty good call. We did not expect this thing to be this bad, and I feel like people who got stranded in the snow wasn't also expecting any of this, because we do have these kind of emergencies and stuff, and it never ever got to like a point like this. Now this is a Family Dollar. We heard that this was broken into and a lot of things were stolen. This isn't the only business that was broken into. There is a lot of other businesses in Buffalo that was broken into, especially on this road. This is Bailey Avenue, by the way. And we heard a lot of news when the travel ban was especially in effect. Obviously, the police and no one could actually travel through this, so people kind of did whatever they wanted to do. And businesses like this got lucky because they have bars like that, but dollar stores and stuff like that, where people know what they have and people know what they're interested in, just went in and got stuff. I saw kids outside. I had to take an emergency call for some bathroom leaks, so I was walking through the snow. That time none of these were plowed except for this road here. That time I saw kids with big TVs and stuff. They were carrying there was a lot of shopping carts that they used from the store that they robbed, and they were just going through. There were kids, there were adults, and there were a lot of people that were bragging on social media as they were stealing things. So that was very upsetting to see. I hope those people get caught and get held accountable for what they did. But there's a car here that just stopped here. Some of these cars, the condition was so bad that these cars were stranded, and if you were outside for 5 to 10 minutes, you could freeze to death. So people were advised to stay in their vehicle if they got stuck and wait for first responders to go and rescue them. So here's a car here, and what happened was that some people waited more than even 30 hours, some people that I know of. So they waited and they did not get any help. Obviously there was no way to get help. I don't blame the first responders. They did a lot of hard work. I saw there was a fire truck that was going through. A plow truck was escorting that thing. One of my friend Imran got stuck in the snow, and there was a plow truck that was trying to get him out. That truck also got stuck, so that's another story. So a lot of people definitely tried to help one another, and then they couldn't. Some people opened up their homes to shelter people. So there was a lot of nice things to see. There was a lot of bad things to see in the storm, and we definitely saw what could happen in a situation like this. The business owners obviously saw what they can go through and everything like that. So it was a lot of things that we got to see this storm here. And this right here, we're still on Bailey, and I just passed Kensington Avenue. A lot of these streets are like just covered in snow. Mostly people are just walking right now because it's just not worth getting your car stuck in the snow. The only reason why I'm out is because I have a car that I know wouldn't get stuck, so that's why I'm out. But I'm just going through the neighborhood and showing you guys what is going on here. If people have a car that is not capable of this kind of weather, then I advise them not to go through this. It's just not worth getting stuck. Right now, people could get rescued very easily because the roads are open and everything. But imagine that time when no police officers can help a person in need. That was really bad. And the people that went to the hospital and everything, they were having the worst time on earth. And it's not just a day where people can just sit down in their home and, you know, just call it a day. It's been multiple days now, so I can understand the frustration on people. And as you can see, we have a pileup right in the middle of the road here. This is going to take some time, obviously, to, you know, fix up and all that, but it is very scary. And the businesses here are closed even today, so no businesses are open today. I believe they're going to open up tomorrow. Some places, though, some places that were robbed, obviously, is probably going to take their time and everything to heal. But some people are going to open up. I guess this garage here, these people are here. I'm not sure if they're from the garage, but there's a liquor store that's open right there. As you can see, you need your liquor no matter what the weather is, right? I think this gas station is also open. The lights are on and everything. Oh, they are open. So some businesses are already open. I think the travel ban was up until 4 a.m. this morning. So I think businesses are opening up, especially, you know, with gas and everything. People do need these things, and some people weren't even ready for this. Like my family did not, stock up on anything for this storm. So, you know, a lot of family obviously weren't taking this seriously. So people do need food and everything. So it's kind of nice to see that some businesses are open. It's good to see that. And some places here, even on the big road here, you know, we have to go one car at a time some places. So, you know, we kind of have to, deal with how it is right now. So I am going through this, and I heard there was that hair rolled right there. This is Bailey and Bailey Avenue, and I think this is Doris Avenue here. There's a hair wall right here, as you can see. This place was about to get broken into, and someone, I guess from that house maybe, and someone from here was taking a video of the owner, or maybe it was the Sky's the Limit, I'm not sure, but either one of these two, there was an owner with a shotgun, I think, shooing the looters away. So yeah, that Family Dollar, that was also broken into. That was the first business that I actually got to see that got broken into. Look at that. People are still stealing stuff. That is crazy. And I'm just gonna guess this U-Haul here is what's helping them move. Just a guess. There you go. Guy got a whole basket full of stuff. I saw that they were using this cart here in a video, just transporting these things that they were stealing. It's just really upsetting to see these businesses with their suffering, and I can't imagine restocking those shelves for business after this thing is over. That's a heavy loss for that business, especially if they don't have insurance to cover this damage up. I'm gonna take a left turn here on East Delavan, and I'm gonna try to find a way to basically take a U-turn out of here, and maybe get out of this area and then proceed to go home. But I don't even want to go that way, because that way soon I'm going to be approaching the Broadway area and stuff, and that area is really, really bad. I don't want to go there. It's not only a bad area, but that's where a lot of things happen with me, my motorcycle accident and everything. It's just a bad area to be in, so I'm not even going to go that way, and I'm just going to try to somehow turn around safely if I can and go home. this right there, as you can see, it's not a lot of snow, but it wasn't plowed. So I'm just trying to keep a safe path of travel here, because you don't know when you can get stuck, and if you do get stuck, it's going to be a bad situation. So without having that possibility, I'm going to try to avoid any of that. And here we are. We have another business open here. So that's also really nice to see. Wow, look at that pile up. It's crazy. People are trying to shovel out of their driveway and everything. It is very scary to see. Now, or here on East Delaware. What is happening with this person here? Either he's drunk or he's frozen. I don't know why you're traveling with your kid unless your house is out of order. That's very scary to see. A lot of people that I know lost power, and when they lost power, they lost their heat and everything. And some of these furnaces, they did not turn back on their own, so they do need to be manually relit in order to function again. So that was also very scary to see. People lost, their heat, the house, and once they did, everything kind of froze up. A lot of people are asking me for plumbing help and gas, what's that called, heating help. I've got a lot of calls on hold until this thing dies down, that I have to take care of after this. So some of these things are very, very simple, but it's just in a place like this, obviously people don't have up-to-date heating system where they constantly check these things. So I urge everyone, if you do have these heating systems and everything, to service them regularly by professionals, so they don't stop working when you need it the most. At times like this, nobody's gonna come out and help. I know that people carried their children, newborn and everything, and walked to other people's house, miles away, where they had power. One of my friends had lost their power for like 2 days, so that was also really, really bad. Now, if we're all adults, that's kind of understandable, and we can go through that kind of torture and everything. But if there are kids in the house, I really urge people to check your heating system and everything regularly, so these things are always maintained properly. You don't get into a situation where your kids are freezing and stuff like that. A lot of people, when they lost electricity, they don't have what's that called, power bank or anything. That's another thing. People should always have power banks in their house, or some sort of backup electricity where they can at least heat something up, or at least charge their phone to call for help or anything. Some people from New York City called me, their relatives, their friends. People lost connection with one another because of service is here, cell service is here, but there was no electricity and people lost power. And when people lost power, they did not get to charge their phone, and that created a problem. I think this one also was broken into. People are still stealing things from stores that are left open. It's just very upsetting to see. People didn't get in contact with one another for days, and we all obviously don't wanna assume the worst, but even going to check up on another person was impossible up until yesterday. Well, up until today, I would say, because I saw that only this road was, plowed, and there was a travel ban. Obviously, people don't want to get in trouble, so traveling unless it was emergency would have been really bad. Spectrum, National Grid, these people are traveling. I saw a National Guard today. The plow trucks, police officers, everybody's patrolling. It's a really scary situation that we're in. Some of these cars are, as you can see, just left behind, passing the Langfield police station here. It's super scary. This road here was plowed. Some of these roads were plowed and then snow came back up. But some of these streets, especially near my house, they weren't touched at all. And I don't think it's important to touch every one of these streets right now, especially because these important streets are important to get cleaned. I saw a lot of big trucks from yesterday that was passing through Bailey Avenue. This is something I don't normally see. I don't think I've ever seen a semi going through this road, but the amount of semi that are going through this road is really weird to see. It's just not used to it. And here we are at a place where only one car can pass through, so I'm gonna wait until these cars pass through. I've got pretty lucky with this car. Even the snow before this one, I didn't get stuck or anything. It's a car with off-road tires, so I got pretty lucky with that. Here we are, the last car. I'm just gonna go through. Oh wow, there was another side. Remember, we went through that side? People were coming through this side for no reason. Okay, so there we go. There was a lot of calls of another problem where people had leaks on their roof. We had dumb amount of wind. It was so much wind that a lot of people had damages on their roof, and through those some people had spaces where the house wasn't completely sealed and snow got through the attic and stuff, and when those melted, people had ceiling leakage issue. I have 3 calls on the line for that. First, we're gonna have to wait until this whole thing dies down, then everything dries up, and then we're gonna have to go on the roof to patch those things up. Up until then, people are gonna have leakage issues. So that's a lot of damage that people have to deal with. So all preventative measures are always very helpful. If you are a homeowner, make sure that you do daily maintenance and make sure that your house is secure and sealed, so things like this don't happen. Buffalo does have crazy wind, but this amount of wind I've never seen before. So these kind of damages are understandable. Bangladesh Plaza was one of the shelters that was open for people if they needed. Now all these roads are cleaned out and everything, so the only walking distance that people do kind of have to cover is the little blocks that they live in if they're in cloud. But other than that, you know, like this street here, it's all good. As you can see, this one here you cannot go through with a car, so some of these roads are gonna have to, you know, wait for them to get plowed. We do have rain coming up, I think tomorrow or in a couple of days. So once this does melt, if the temperature doesn't rise, then we're gonna have frozen streets. So maybe even after the new year, we're gonna have issues traveling. But I feel like you know, if the city does its job fast like this, like how it is doing right now, we aren't gonna have issues at all. So that's really good to see. And so this is kind of the tour of what is going on in our neighborhood. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys next time. Peace.